For this article, we're discussing satellite mapping and making agriculture more sustainable. Looking at the reading through this article, it seems like they could use the satellite images to um, more than just a topographic map of how a farm is laid out. You even take that and superimpose. If you load the map into a computer, you could superimpose your equipment, animals, all that with GPS trackers, because farming is really starting to shift from, or it really has shifted from individual or small farm. Now it's starting to become a large business. Some of these farm machines, they can cost a half million dollars or more. They really need to be tracked, monitored. Some of them even drive themselves. You're driving really small buildings in some cases across fields. It's good to know what you're driving into, what obstacles you might come into, what your neighbors might be doing, seeing if there's some way you could work together, or if there's some crops that might not be suitable to be grown downwind of each other. In the future, satellite mapping can be done with not just visible light, but other wavelengths that you might be able to read soil quality as a future expansion of this technology, and just seeing maybe where, if you read elevations, what rainfall might occur, where fertilizer might wash out from your farm. You could take preemptive measures to try to avoid that fertilizer from getting in waterways and getting into the environment, to try to stop like algae blooms in the ocean.
There's a lot of benefits of satellites recording and giving data to the farmers. The farmers have more precision uh, images of the farmland, and even though this technology is pretty old, but with the advancing in satellites, they're able to be more sustainable in their farming culture, and also they are able to know the data and analyze the data more efficiently, which is helping them to plan their production of crops and cattle efficiently, which is giving them more production, and also is going their or reducing their cost, because you don't know, with the satellite data you can easily know how much land is available for you to farm with this weathers and everything, and they can absorb um, more land with less of an effort, because they have everything in their hand instead of actually traveling. So which can reduce their uh, emissions also. Like they will use less gas, since they would know exactly which area they need to go, and they don't have to travel as much because of their satellites and information they have available at that point.
Yeah, I like it. The technology certainly isn't new, but this is a new implementation of this technology. You don't really satellite picturing is basically GPS with a lens, and it hasn't been used for architecture, not to my knowledge, but very slightly. In other markets like solar panels, I know that they use this technology to determine what the best position for solar panels are, where the sunlight's going to hit the best. And I could definitely see that instead of a solar panel, it's a plant. Where is it the most optimal to plant this crop? So I really like that aspect of it. You can also, they were talking about in in the article to use it as a type of forecasting. Oh, you put this plot of crop in this area, data shows that 10 years ago it did really good, and it's been doing good consistently in that area for the last 10 years. Things like that is really good. Well, a little bit that concerns me is the regulations that they want to imply with this technology. They're talking about keeping farmers up to date with best practices. Some farmers are, especially some family-owned farmers, don't really like the government getting in their way of this. But if they have best practices, it's because of a reason, and they have to be, upheld. People worry about like if their food is organic or not, and this can actually, I don't want to say keep tabs on them, but it'll definitely be an indicator. I like what the article also said, that this is just one piece of the puzzle. Other technologies are going to come into play with this, and I'm curious and excited to see what comes next.